Did it again. I recorded the intro twice over without a mic on. How did we get here? Do-do-do-do. Hello there, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. It is the end of October and there are 2 months to the new year. Well, I've got you. For those of you who want to level up and be the woman that you want to be before the end of the year, this video is going to be for you. It's for those grown women who are ready to make changes and just have those reminders that allow them to level up their lives, because 2024 is around the corner. Now, before I get into this video, it's in paid partnership with BetterHelp. You guys know I'm a therapy fan. It has helped me on my journey as I have grown as a woman, and I think a lot of us need therapy. For me, BetterHelp is one of the better services that are out there when it comes to connecting with a therapist that is fast and easy. You basically do an initial online quiz based on your needs, and what I love is that some of us have cultural needs or religious needs, or we need couples therapy or help when it comes to career or other emotional needs. You're basically able to find a therapist based on your needs. You do an initial quiz where you answer a number of questions and then you'll be matched with a therapist. And then you are able to determine how you guys connect. Is it a phone call? Is it an email? Is it a video call? Is it text messages? That is up to you. And you're able to also determine the frequency. Whether you need a daily call or a daily text or a monthly session, you set that up for yourself and with your therapist. Over the years, I have had multiple therapists based on different things I've been going through in my life. And what I love is that you're able to change your therapist if you need to without any charge. So if you want to find out anything more about BetterHelp, you can literally go to betterhelp.com and you can get 10% off your first month with my name, Patricia Bright. That's www.betterhelp.com, betterhelp.com/Patricia Bright for your first 10% off. And you can thank me later, and I have a link in the description bar below. So today, let's get deep. Let's talk about friendships, relationships, things that we want to do to change before the end of the year to make sure we are leveling up effectively. Number 1, it might be time to audit your inner circle. When it comes to coming into a new year or coming to a new season or coming into a new phase, knowing who's around you is really important. What is the value that you add to them and they add to you? Check your energy when you're around that circle. Do you feel lifted up? Do you feel encouraged? Or do you feel dragged down and like you're stuck in the same place? If your inner circle isn't allowing you to be the best version of yourself, then before you think about getting into a new year, you want to look at those inner circles. Is it time to let certain people go to allow new energy in your life? And I know I've seen a lot of talk about making friends as adults being quite difficult. I can attest that over the years, my circles have got so much smaller. Now I've got colleagues and I've got acquaintances, but the people I can call my friend are like 3 to 4 on my hand. But I know they're the friends that are on their own journeys. I can see them growing spiritually in their careers, in their lives. And I can tell you that if I'm not doing the right thing, they're gonna tell me. And those are the kind of friends you wanna have in your inner circle. They're elevating and you are elevating them. If you don't have that right gang with you, it's time to take a look. You want friends that you can talk about your aspirations, your goals, your help. And that's your inner circle that you're gonna get deep with and are gonna help you be the best version of yourself for every season you get into. Next up, and this is something I had to work on, it's mastering the true art of self-love and moving away from self-loathe. Can we say that again? Mastering the art of self-love and moving away from self-loathe. One thing I had to learn about this year was about my inner dialogue. The things that I said about myself to myself on a regular basis without really knowing I was doing it. Like, oh, you're so dumb, or how could you forget that, or you look dusty. Like, certain things I realized were just happening. Certain things were thoughts that I had towards myself. Sometimes I say them in jest, sometimes I say them in sarcasm, but like I had this kind of a little bit of, I don't want to say self-loathing, but like the self-love wasn't loving, right? And sometimes we don't realize that we've got into habits of where we're not being the kindest to ourselves. We're not being the most patient to ourselves. We're not being the most loving to ourselves when we really should be. And that is an art that takes practice. Some of us don't realize we just got bad habits towards our own selves, not even like just life bad habits, towards how we look after ourselves. When it comes to self-love before the end of the year, you need to work out how you're going to prioritize your needs and your needs for self-love and self-growth. This is not just about, I go and get my nails done, I go and get my hair done, I go and get a massage. All of those things I like. Those things are all fabulous. But sometimes those are things that we do because we're actually hiding away from actually loving ourselves in the best way possible. And it might be the choices that we're making. It might be the food that we're eating. It might be the inner dialogue that we're having. It might be the dopamine things that we are searching for, the fact that we are scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and watching and watching and watching and doing all these things to avoid truly sitting down with ourselves and loving ourselves from the inside out. Learning to embrace that true self-love, understanding where you're failing, understanding what your true needs are, and then acting upon that is a very important next step to make if you really want to transform before the end of the year. Now, this is for all the gals in the situationships. Oh, situationship is a real, for me, it's the word of 2023 because I've realized so many people are in these situationship. It's not a relationship, it's a situation. And now it's time to reevaluate. You do not have time. You do not have time to be in a situation that isn't adding back to your life. Now, I'm not saying dump that man, dump your partner. But I'm saying that when you're in a state of unknown, you can't grow. You're in a state of confusion. What you're gonna wanna get is absolute clarity when it comes to relationships or situationships. Are you growing together or are you growing apart or are you just standing still? Because if you're not growing, you're not where you need to be and it's not a great place to be. Now more than ever is a great time to have some deep conversations for those people that are in your lives that you really wanna get that clarity on. A new year is coming. Don't walk into the new year still being confused. You can't grow if you're confused. My next point is growth rarely happens in comfort zones. Now more than ever, I think it's a great time to think about the things that really make you feel awkward, but deep down you know you want. Whether or not that's reaching out to an old friend or someone you want to connect with, or maybe it's taking a course or a class, or going out to eat alone, or traveling to somewhere alone. If you want to grow, you're gonna have to learn to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Trying something new and stepping out of your comfort zone before the new year is a great way to challenge yourself, but also to add another string to your bow of value. Like, oh, actually, I do this, or I am this, or I have tried this. Even if it is awkward or felt painful, that is really where that stretching comes to make you feel like you are a new person. Why not challenge yourself to do something new or different every single day for the next month? I actually was watching this guy, he has this challenge called 75 Hard. And so for 75 days, he does these 5 things that he commits to, right? Or was it 5 or 7 things that he commits to? And he does it for 75 days straight. And if he doesn't do it, then he has to start again. Anyway, after the challenge, I was listening to his podcast and he talked about the growth and the change of how he felt about himself was like so tangible after he did this, because he made a commitment to do things that were difficult for him for a set period of time, but he feels like it transformed him forever. Embracing discomfort is the gateway to personal development, and before the new year comes, you're gonna wanna do that. Boundary setting. I love this, right? Yeah, before the new year, get those boundaries. I feel like we are all aware of the concept of boundary setting, and it's so valuable. For me, that was one of the things that I learned in therapy about what were my boundaries when it came to interaction with other people. And even when it came to work, like actually I need to stop. I need to know my body. I need to know what works and doesn't work for me. I needed to set up those boundaries from the outside world. But sometimes we need to set up boundaries from ourselves. Oh my gosh. Sometimes you don't want to hear it, but sometimes you're the problem. You are the problem. You need boundaries and you need to teach yourself to do better. It's important to start taking ownership and responsibility of what you're doing when it comes to spending your time and your energy and what on earth is going on in our lives. Some of us spend a lot of time blaming the outside world, but not recognizing that, maybe it's something I'm doing. Maybe I need to set some personal boundaries to myself and tell myself no. Put that cookie down. Go on that walk. Make the bed. Learning to say no to certain activities, people, things that drain you and don't allow you to grow is really important. And some of us don't know how to do that. So yes, you might want to set boundaries to the outside world, but you might want to also look at setting boundaries to yourself and keeping the promises that you make for yourself. And my final point is dare to dream big for yourself. And I'm not just saying be limerent and just think about it, but actually get practical. I love visualization. I love writing down a plan and knowing what I want to do when it comes to the next 3 months or 6 months. But you really have to dream bigger than what is around you. And you need to find sources of inspiration, people online or books or mentors. Learning to stretch what you think is possible for yourself is really important. Set aside time and start visualizing your goals and your aspiration on a daily, weekly, or even monthly basis. Don't wait till New Year's for you to start setting resolutions. And while you're dreaming big, make sure you measure how close are you to those things. Don't get caught up in the have I got those things, rather get caught up in the journey and the process so that you don't get disillusioned. But don't feel scared to actually believe in something for yourself beyond what is normal or beyond what other people think, because you literally never know what can happen. You do not know how amazing it is to have a clear vision about what you want, even if it's crazy. It will literally magnetize opportunities and you will see clearer how you can take those steps to actually make it there in the end. In conclusion, a new season is about to be here. There are many of us who want to make changes and level up, and we just need practical help. So I hope that this video was valuable for those of you who are wanting to make sure they make it into the new year with a bang. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you later.